How I get to the? Did I mess something up? Oh, there it is live. It's showing that different type of thing though. Let me get something real fast. It's showing the horizontal thing. All right. Good afternoon, Red Cross family. This is your second city update for the month of May. I know last time we spoke we had some technical difficulties, but we got those fixed, so it should be a lot clearer this time. Once again, I got a few slides that I'm going to go over, um, and I put out some additional information, uh, and hopefully we can pull. Can we pull the slides up now? And I won't stay in here too long today. I know it is a Thursday, and we all got stuff to do today. But today's agenda, we were talking about some safety concerns that we still face right now within the city, infrastructure update. But I'll be talking mainly about our streets and roads improvement program, and trying to answer a few questions that we've had on that over the last few weeks. And then I'll talk about public works zone operational concept. We've been doing this for a while right now, but we're still getting questions on that, so I'll try to provide some feedback in that area. And then we'll talk about the garbage and bulk item pickup. If you don't know, we went away from putting our big bins out in the parks, and I'll explain that when I get to that section. But that does not remove the capability of getting rid of your big items because they're still there. We'll discuss that in detail on that section. And then we got two community concerns I want to talk about, and then we'll close out about how to stay connected with the city. So first, we'll go ahead and move to safety, and this has not changed. Uh, it's going to pretty much be the same standard brief of all my previous updates, and you can read that for yourselves. But we remain committed to safety. But again, safety is just not the city's problem; it's a community problem, and we still need your help with that. We're still having a lot of situations where simple acts could prevent accidents and a few other things. So we're just asking you to kind of just, when you're driving out on our streets and roads, just practice like that's your family member on the next car over, in the next land over, things of that nature. Um, but our police and fire and public works, our big three, continue to go out here and try to keep the city safe in various ways, and they will continue to do so. We are fortunate now that we've had some rain recently, and that was one of our biggest safety concerns with the drought. But between the rain scheduled for this week and probably next week, we should be in a much better position for the upcoming months of June and July. Additionally, the city, we're investing in our infrastructure improvements and directly supporting safe communities. That includes upgrading our roads, improving our drainage systems, enhancing our other safety project areas, and then of course everything that we do is going to be by data-driven analytics as far as making decisions. And all this comes together to make our city safer. So again, we just want to stress the importance that keeping the city safe is one of the city's main priorities, the main priority. But additionally, this is a community effort that we require to keep everybody safe. next we're gonna move over to the roads, and I want to spend a few moments here because we receive a lot of questions on our roads. I'm gonna go back in history for a little bit, just discuss a few things, and I'll come back to the present time. So when I first arrived here, we had a brand new commission, pretty much. Two of the commissioners had been on there for quite some time, and then we had three new commissioners doing their first or second term as commissioners. And one of the first initiatives they wanted me to do was figure out how to prioritize our roads, and we had done this by many ways in previous years. One, just picking a street by commissioner in each neighborhood with no data input. So basically, a commission was just picking a street that they wanted to get paved, and it had no metrics behind that. And I mean, streets are still getting paved that way, but then when you have no metrics or no scoring system, then you lose out on money and stuff like that. So one of the things they first told me to do was to create a program or a way to pick the streets that had fairness, that was data driven, and then paint a picture for long term for our residents. That's what we did, and that program was called robotics. And what robotics did was it had mapping technology, and then they went around to every street, mapped out every street from start point to ending point. We took core samples, and with the core samples, you could see when that street got last paved. You could see the pavement history, and then a little bit of samples as far as the dirt. So you could tell, okay, this street got paved in 1976. So that was part of the scoring criteria. And then that program kind of prioritized all the cities, and we got over 500 cities from 1 to 500 based off of that. We took it a step further by adding some data analytics from GDOT. So GDOT kind of gives us stats on how often people drive on the street. So in an 8-hour time period. So this street might have 1,000 people, and this street might have 100 people. So of course, the street with 1,000 people is going to have a higher score for pavement than the street with 100 people. We then added both of those data inputs and created our list, and it was a what we call a 70-30% split between the robotics program and the GDOT data. And of course, set these in there as well. But that was the main two inputs for prioritizing the list. And then we had our list. And since that time, we've been going down that list using T-Splosh and Splosh monies to repair those roads. Now, when we pave roads, we don't just come and do a skim over. We remove all the old road. We then go in there and fix all of the utilities, and that's sometimes why it takes longer to repair roads, because we don't know how bad utilities are until we get in there and kind of unearth them. So what we do in summary with that is, of course, we don't just pave the road, we fix the utilities as well, and that's what we've been doing. So I say all that to say this now. Of course, let me go back on something I forgot to mention. So with those 500 roads, you have primary roads, arterial roads, and then of course you have our dirt roads. That's all in that mix. We separate the dirt roads from the already paved roads, so they got their own separate list, which I'll cover after this. But with the paved roads, even with the paved roads, we have to separate those again into the city maintained roads and then the state maintained roads. And of course, the state maintained roads are going to be all the major highways that come through Waycross. Your Ossie Davises, your Plants, your Memorial, 520, those being the main four, Brunswick, all those areas. Now, of course, those are the roads that I would say most people travel by. But again, we are not responsible for paving those roads. We are responsible for leaks and utility issues, but not paving. So that's why you don't see us like paving a Ossie Davis or paving a Memorial. But we do work in conjunction with GDOT to pave those roads. And if you remember, they just paved, I think did some paving maybe about 2 weeks ago on Memorial. So they have started coming in and fixing those areas that they're responsible for. If you've been following our meetings, we did a letter agreement for them to redo Ossie Davis. And I won't touch on that too much today, but that is coming over the next couple of years. I know that's the main concern of many residents with Ossie Davis, but unfortunately that's a state maintained road, and they're going to get to it when they can, and we can't really touch it as far as the pavement. Okay, so once we said that, we got all the city roads. So again, I can appreciate and I can understand, like, you're gonna always see as a resident your road as a high priority because you travel that road more than any other road. you know. But to avoid that, that's why we create this program. So that way we don't put in the personalization or the regionalization and all those other factors of how we feel as far as paving roads. So we use data analytics, data-driven data to come up with our list, and that's where we are now. All that said, we have reassessed the priorities list, and we're going to make some changes here July 1st. We're going to do another round of prioritization on the road with a new program that does a little bit more than robotics did, and that's probably going to change some of the roads as far as ranking on the list. Additionally, if there's a major utilities concern or infrastructure replacement need, then that road is going to automatically get paved as well. We don't want to just open the road up in that area. I'm going to use Lee Avenue as an example. So there was a major culvert replacement needed there, and we kind of fixed that. And looking back, hindsight 2020, we should have just went ahead and paved that whole road since we opened utilities up. It would have been cheaper and more cost efficient. So we're going to take that model or that example and start doing all our roads the same way moving forward. So again, July 1st, we're going to have a new prioritization program. We're still going to take GDOT's input. And then once that new system comes out, we're going to publish that list on our pages. So you can kind of go there and you can see where your road ranks as far as being paved. Hope to answer that question. With the dirt roads, that's kind of totally different. We basically have about 38 dirt roads, which we're paving now. It's actually under 38 now. We're paving those roads now. And we actually take those in segments of 7 to 8 rows, and we just put new drainage down, and we pave them. That's coming out of the SPLOST. We anticipate that all getting done probably over the next couple of years, based on a few factors. But that's a separate list from the paved road. But both of those lists can be found on the website, on the engineering department's website. But again, it's probably going to change on July 1st once we reassess the roads. So I hope we answered that question as best we could. Next, we're going to move to the zone concept of operations for our public works. We've been doing this about a year now, and I feel like it's working. I know when at the high level, when you look at this map, I think people just see 1, 2, 3, 4 and think it's the districts, and it's not. If you kind of zoom in, you'll see that those zones 1, 2, 3, and 4, they cover 2 to 3 districts a day. So that's the plan. We allot all forces to those areas during that day, and that's rowing, that's mowing, that's cutting, that's cleaning, that's everything, and then move to the next zone and do the same thing. It's been working pretty well since we did that. For those who don't know, in the past, we did try to do a district a day, and then if it rain came or anything like that, we got behind. If it was a holiday, we got behind. If it was a manpower shortage, we got behind. Now by doing the zone operations, like I say, we're doing at least a minimum of 2 districts a day, parts of 2 districts a day, and we get everything covered and then move to the next zone, and it's been working. So I would just ask you to kind of look at this slide. You can see where the zones are. You can see where you fit in. And don't try to think of it as these are districts, these are zones, areas. And those zones, areas get our full operational capabilities. That means all our equipment goes there to do those. If you got questions about this, please reach out to the many ways you can contact us. But right now, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of how that works. All right. Now we're going to go to the next area, which is going to be garbage collection and bulk item pickups. And we've had a lot of questions on this lately. So we did move away from putting the bins in the park areas. It just was not working or cost efficient because we still, let me go back in history a little bit on that. We started that program because of all the illegal dumping. And in our assessment, we felt like if we put these out there for you, you could just bring the dumping there versus going down a dirt road or a dead end and dumping there. And then unfortunately, people still kept doing the opposite. It actually got worse, and we were just wasting money because those dumpsters are not paid for through your regular fee. That's something that the city eats, and it just wasn't working, just being honest. So we moved away from that. But that does not prevent you from getting rid of your bulk items and large items, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. I do want to talk about garbage collection because I have some questions this week, and as well as our department heads with garbage collection. Now, you can read the slide for yourself there. We're asking if you put your garbage cans out the night before. Will the trash can come every day at the exact same time? No. Trash collection. But they try to. The problem we're having is people are placing their cans out the day of, 10, 11 o'clock, and then the truck has already passed that area. So we're asking residents, encouraging residents to put your trash cans out the night before. Then once your trash is collected, move it back to your homes out of the right-of-ways for safety reasons. But again, the truck does come the same time every day, but it could come later, it could come earlier, and we don't want to commit ourselves to that small and narrow window. The problem we are having is people, again, if you put your trash out at lunchtime, they've already passed that area, then you miss that pickup, and it does cost. So the best way and the safest way and the most efficient way is to go ahead and put those cans out the night before. And that way you ensure that your garbage cans get picked up. All right, for the bulk items. And you can read that there too. Now, this might change, I think, once I get to the next slide on some pricing, but for the most part, as part of your trash collection, you already paid for this service. It's called the bulk item pickup, up to 5 big items, and you see the 5 items listed there. So you can have appliances, you can have furniture, mattresses, carpets, no paint, no gases, no liquids, anything like that. But you can still have these items picked up. You just need to call and make that appointment. You see there the requests need to be submitted by 3 p.m. each Wednesday, and then the collections will happen on Thursdays or Fridays. So it's still available for you to get rid of your big ticket item stuff, your mattresses, your couches, all those things. But you have to make the pre-coordination. So again, we ask you to kind of start following that process to get those things picked up. Now, if you have even more stuff, we go into the second slide. If you have even more stuff you need to get picked up, then we offer another pickup service that you can apply for, that you can put in. But again, you got to call for this special collection service, and we do the same thing on Thursdays and Fridays. And this is a call where you should need to just contact Public Works prior to those Thursdays and Fridays. You can see down the fees for those half a load, 36. A quarter load, 36. Half a load, 77. Full load, 155. Now, once the budget gets approved, this is more like it's going to go up a few dollars just to cover the costs. But again, these large loads are if you're trying to clean out a house, and again, no paints, no fuels, no batteries, but everything else, if you call the city, we'll come bring the dumpster out there that we have in the park, and then you can put all these items into those dumpsters and get rid of that. But this one has a cost to it. All right. And then yard trash collection. This is another issue we're starting to have. And you can see where the parameters for that collection pickup. The one thing I want to cover here is when you saw the Public Works Director speak on this, myself, some of our directors, debris should not be placed near mailboxes, utility poles, vehicles, fences, or hard structures, meaning cement. I know it's a concern about your grassy areas, but our technicians are very skilled. The cranes do not dig, it'll pick it up evenly. But if you don't place in those areas and you don't meet the specifics for that, meaning the size and width requirements, they're not going to pick it up. And, I know I can see the frustration, but we're asking residents to avoid all that frustration. Just go to our website and get the measurements, get the times, see where the area's location, not to put it in, and just follow the rules and procedures and your stuff to get picked up. All right. And on that note, too, we do not pick up trees, stumps, trunks, or large contracted debris without being contacted by the city first. All right. Now we're going to go to 2 community issues on the next slide that I want to talk about. They have started to become, first of all, costly because, sometimes you can't coop our money back. And then it also can be unsafe sometimes. So you've heard us talk about safety at the beginning, I just want to talk about a few things with safety. So again, although our water and sewer is maintained by the city, the community has a responsibility as well. Definitely with our backflows and our valve systems, because they continue to get broke as people call in unlicensed plumbers to fix their water. Now I get it. Plumber costs some money, and your next door neighbor might do it for free. But when doing it for free, there are costs to that, and we're gonna start, finding individuals that take it upon themselves to, fix things when not certified. And we have to do this because it costs the city money if we don't. So it's already been identified when you get your business licenses and all those things. You have to have plumber certified certification for your infrastructure that you are responsible for. And I guess everybody want to know what that is. So you can read this on the slides. And I'm going to read some of this. But licensed plumbers are required to pull permits and complete work that can be inspected for safety and code compliance. The inspection process helps ensure systems are installed correctly and protects homeowners, neighboring properties, and the city's utility infrastructure from preventable damage and public health risks. Backflow prevention responsibility. Backflow prevention devices are critical components that help protect the public water supply from contamination. These devices prevent polluted or unsafe water from flowing backwards into the city's drinking water systems. The backflow device is the customer's responsibility to maintain. Property owners are required to ensure the device is properly inspected, tested, and certified as required. Documentation confirming this device has been properly certified must be provided when requested. Failure to maintain a properly functioning backflow device can create serious public health concerns and may result in service interruptions or enforcement actions. So, to summarize that, I need your help because, again, we're getting people that are trying to do their own plumbing work and breaking these backflow devices, and it's causing issues and concerns, not just for the city, but for their neighbors. If you got questions about this, please reach out to community improvement section or myself, and we can provide feedback on these situations. Next slide, as far as community situations, I'm going to talk about water and sewer availability. So I know right now we have a lot of individuals buying manufactured homes, trying to develop their properties. We're just asking, before you go past those too many steps, please get with the city and just verify first if your city have water and sewer. I mean, does that site have water and sewer? Second, can the city provide water and sewer? Third, do you understand the costs associated with providing water and sewer to that location? Because right now we have a lot of individuals just going, got the cart before the horse, buying the home without doing the necessary research on can the home be sustained and supported at that location. So again, before you purchase one of these manufactured homes, I know they got these deals now where you get the land, purchase with it too. Please just reach out to the city, verify water and sewer capabilities to that location, and then if it is a possibility, that is still associated costs that will come upon the property owner. So don't go down that road and do all that and then have to come back and you still need 10 to 15 grand to get water and sewer to your location. You can avoid all that by reaching out to us first. So please help us help you, and reach out as soon as you can if you're thinking about buying some property or moving a manufactured home to a new property. All right. And last thing, and I've touched on this a few times before, but of course the city, we have 11 ways for you to contact us. I'm gonna go down line by line with you on this so everybody can understand why. So first and foremost, social media has never been our primary means of communication because we don't cover everything. And on Facebook, we never had. The primary means of communication is going to be those commission meetings. And if you really want to get the fact base, the most updated, and the truth, you need to either watch the meetings, attend the meetings, or go back and look at the archived meetings, which will be archived on our Facebook page. I think our website's going to start carrying them, and our YouTube channel, and you can kind of get a summary of those meetings. That is our primary means of communication. Legally, that's our primary means of communication above everything else. Contact your commissioner by phone or email. So your commissioner's phone numbers and emails on our website, as well as mine. You can call us directly and set up meetings, phone calls, face-to-faces, town halls, anything of that nature if you want to talk to us. That's going to be your second means of communication, probably your second most effective way is to reach out to your commissioner first. That's their sole purpose is to represent you. Third thing is the city website. So we've just changed over to a new website. It's more interactive and conducive as far as information sharing. You can go there. It has a chat box. Now the chat box is still kind of learning like a young child, but it's improving every day to answer your questions. You also can, I think there you can sign up for some of these other features as well on that website. I've already kind of discussed our Facebook pages. Now you can still follow our Facebook pages. The city's main Facebook page, I have a page, and then each department here has a page. Now we'll still put information out on those pages, but if you want interaction, then the best interaction is going to be either call us or come to the meetings. Subscribe to the city's YouTube channel, Instagram channel, and I want to say we have what other social media platform? We have TikTok. You can go there as well. The app, the city app is still a vital place to get information. I know it's kind of went down on usage, but it's really capable of giving you feedback and updates as well. You can sign up for our city text platform. That's a platform that you sign up for where you get a text, a phone call, and an email. You see those listed here as well. Anytime something happens in the city, it's really great because I think about we had a water leak one night. Maybe it was a Saturday night, and as soon as we identified the water leak, the text, email, and phone call went out. So everybody on those platforms know, hey, you got a water leak. It's gonna be out for X amount of hours, or hey, you got an accident on US 1. You might want to avoid that area. It's like real time data, so it works. You can sign up for these features again, our text, phone, and email system through our website as well. And then after that, you have our city phone number. Now, you call that number's going to take you probably to our front customer service line, probably water and sewer, or my admin office. It does have some preamps there as well that you can kind of reach other departments. But that's another area you can reach out to us as well. But again, these are 11 areas that you can communicate with the city. And again, the best way and probably going to be the fastest way if you want to get some feedback is going to be attending those commission meetings or at least watching the videos after. All right. So I went real quick on that. If you got any questions about these slides or what I just covered, you can go ahead and go to our one of our text features right now through our webpage and ask those questions, and we'll get that feedback to you today. If you have any recommendations about anything we're doing in the city that we can improve on, when we do surveys, please answer those surveys. Again, please reach out to myself or some of our department directors and your commissions primarily if you got questions or concerns. And then to summarize the whole briefing today, let's just stay safe out there. Let's watch out for each other. Please do some research and some homework before you buy properties or infrastructure because you really got to know all those other costs that are associated with these purchases. And then finally with our roads and streets, we are trying to, pave our roads and streets as best we can, but it's going to take some time. Again, we have over 500 roads that need upgrades, and not just the paving, but the utilities. That's going to take some time and some money and some resources, and we don't necessarily always have all of them at the same time, but we're working as our best as we can to make that happen. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Wish everybody a happy holiday. Again, refer back to these slides, which we'll post here, stand alone here in a few seconds as far as getting information. And if you got any concerns or questions or comments, just reach out to us. And I forgot to mention the commissioners are starting to have their town halls. I think the next town hall is for District 4, and I think it's scheduled for this Saturday. I think District 3 will be having one soon as well. And that should be everybody at that point as far as town halls. And then we'll start again with a second round of town halls moving into the summer months. And with that, everybody have a great day. Waycross, take care of each other. And I'll see you on the hot side.